welcome back. Good morning and good to see you. So, some progress updates. I went exploring. I went down south, saw a bunch of mountains, saw a bunch of forest, saw myself a gold supply and some limonite. I'll probably turn this into a nature preserve after I strip it of some of its resources. Marked my magnetite, marked my copper mine. I also went north a bit. Found some more hills and mountains, found some more forest, and found a ravine with a bunch of sphalerite sticking out of it. And lo and behold, right next to it, I was finding surface deposits of cassiterite. So I am sitting pretty on metals I need to make bronze and to move forward. And even after I make all my bronze, I'm still going to have lots of things for things like iron and steel because I have a good supply of iron right next to me. With that being said, I would like to open up that mine over to the cassiterite pretty soon. It's getting pretty late in the year though. It's almost late autumn. And we're in a bad shape as far as food's concerned. I mean, we always have things like seaweed. Nutritionally, that's not going to help us a lot. So I'm really hoping that this jute comes in. It's not edible, but it'll be useful maybe for some trade if we can find the other country that's out here. Hoping that the rice, the wheat, and the rye comes in before it starts freezing over. They're grains, so hopefully they will be a little bit more resilient to it. Went ahead and did some terraforming and stuck out some signs about where I want certain things. Fixed up some sections of the road so they look nicer. This one's going to be a pretty decent size. It's, as you can see, that's where it's going to be stopping off. So it's actually going to be bigger than any of the buildings we've built so far. And I'm going to put a fishery over here for this pond. I will be erecting a gate here. It just looks like the right spot. It has a big deep lake there. It has a beautiful ravine here. I just think it's going to help a lot with security if I just put a big gate there. And then on the other side we'll have a dock, a dry dock, and another fisher. With that being said, we also, over here, will have the main entrance. Because if we look at the map, there's only a handful of ways to get on here. And that would be one of them. Otherwise, we're all pretty much waterlocked. So as long as we put up some good walls, we won't have an issue with that. And that's where the iron mine is going to come from. If I recall, that's also where we have the copper that's being mined up too. Not the copper, the clay. The copper's going to be down there in that ravine. We're going to put a barracks over here. And I figure we'll use all this space right here to make a keep. And we'll just make this section over here sorry, too much movement. This section right over here a proper green farm. So let's take a look at some of the other stuff I've gotten done. Some of the new stuff. I know that was new too, but we follow the road down here. You should have another road over here. where we will have a marketplace and a carpenter. This section is going to have two buildings, a prefect and a road mender. I'm thinking the road mender's shed can be like behind the prefect post, and the prefect can just be like right on the road. There's going to be our mason and tailor. And the Bobby will live over here. For those of you who don't know what a Bobby is, they basically take people who are doing bad things and they put them behind bars to wait for a trial. Don't ask me why they're called Bobbies, that's just what they're called. Okay, so let me see, is there anything else I wanted to show you guys? Yes, I wanted to go over a few things. It's not in there, is it? It is, okay. I found a couple bears while I was exploring. Well, 3 to be specific. And they were not playing very nicely, so I almost died 3 or 4 times. But thanks to the fact I had a bow, I was able to pull it off. And I'm still kicking. One thing I would like to make with you guys is an armor stand. And it's made just like this. And now we can take it on over here to our blacksmith. And hopefully... How do I want this? I don't want it to get wet. Because, you know, things like rust and whatnot. Right, let's put it inside. Right, okay, maybe we don't need that light. There we go. We can just put it there. And that should just be able to, hold our armors. With that being said, let's go ahead and make ourselves a chest piece, a set of leggings, and some shoes. So you just click and nap. Let's go ahead and make some pants first. Let's make some boots next. And let's make a chest piece. I think I just messed that up. Let's find out what the recipe for that is. Yeah, I went too deep on it. Okay. So it's just this right here. Just the very top. Okay, and as you can see, these have their own advantages. Piercing, it's not so good at. Slashing, it's a little better than piercing. Crushing, it's really good at. So. And different ways that you get attacked are considered different methods. So this will help against some things, but not necessarily against everything that we run across. Okay, now do we have enough? We don't. We only need 3 for it, so let's go ahead and grab those. But that's another thing I wanted to do with you guys. Wanted to go over how to make roads when you don't have much in the way of road supplies. We'll do that right after this. Right now I kind of want to get myself a bellows going on. So then you make some shelves and then you just put leather in the middle. And that is a bellows. Nope, that's the wrong way. Maybe we need to put it this way. Okay, see where the hole is? That's where all the air is going to come out. So now we can have ourselves a nice bellows to heat up the fire even hotter. Remember how I was telling you that it wouldn't get above a certain temperature range? Well, you can't melt accidentally any type of ferrous metal. You actually have to have some air going across it to heat up the coals before it'll hit that heat. Strangely enough, one of the forges I made was so hot that I accidentally wasn't paying attention to some of the metal I had in there that I was heating up. Oh bother, I almost messed up. And before I even knew it, it just like completely melted. It's actually rather embarrassing. It's like I was working on that. Now I have not enough metal. Doggone it. Okay. Now, what you just saw me do, basically, was a decent job of randomization. It really has more to do with timing than randomization. There are other methods, too, you can employ. I find that this one works pretty well for a good result. And then I just drop down some torches. And then what I do is I just come back with my filler. Do I have... No. I'm gonna go back and grab up some more tools. One of these days I'm gonna make myself a metal shovel. One of these days. Just don't expect it to be anytime soon. No. No. You stay inside, Mr. Mayor. The mayor's under house arrest until I can make him like a proper house. Which I do have blueprints for. It's just... haven't gotten around to it yet. I've had other priorities. So yeah, you click and it ends up coming up with a word like this. Obviously some of it comes across as more rhythmed than others. There are other ways you can do it. Another technique. We have some decent ones, okay. Another technique you can do is kind of just like wave back and forth. And I'm doing a pretty lousy explanation of how to do this. There are always better ways to do it. Sadly, I wish that my mod was updated because I had a mod that had a tool that I had designed that it gave a very nice randomization on patterns and allowed me to do a much better job with roads that looked like they were ruined. The problem with that is I haven't touched it in years, and I'm pretty sure that it's outdated, and I'd have to update the mod again. I'm barely finding time to make sure that I get these videos in for you guys, let alone updating one of my mods, so I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But yeah, there's that. And then to really give it a better feel, you can come back and do the same thing again, and then instead of replacing it with your road material, replace it with another one that looks kind of like it, but cheaper. Since I'm using cobblestone for road, I could use gravel, or I could come through and till the dirt, because that way it won't revert back to grass. I could also use mud bricks, various different things. With the bows, you're gonna find you're a lot safer than without. Oh, another thing I did, I found some more of the saplings from the peach, and I brought them back. I misclicked one of them, so I was only able to successfully plant one, but it's here. And I've gone ahead and outlined where I want those saplings from over there to get transplanted to once I can harvest a few. And I'll be doing the same thing with the other trees that are in here. It really gives it a nice outlined design. Or at least I like the outline of it. Let's go throw those back. And my throat is still bothering me. It's just one of those things that once you start having your throat bother you, for some people it just does not go away very quickly. I just find it to be a nuisance, if anything. I mean, it's not like it's a legitimate problem. I don't really care what I sound like. On YouTube, I really don't. The problem is, I feel like crap. And as long as you guys are understanding what I'm putting out there, I don't even care if you guys are watching it now or if you're watching it in like a year or two. I'm just putting the information out there so that you guys can benefit from it. If you can benefit, I'm happy. That's the only reason why I'm putting the content out. If I don't have anything worth putting out, I'm just not going to. I'm not going to spam you guys like other channels do. Okay, so what I'm thinking we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and wait out the night. And in the morning, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to make a trip down here, show you what I saw. Well, briefly show you what I saw. There's too much to see down here to really properly see it. I'm planning on putting up a hunting house out there. Maybe like a small little path leading up to it. But otherwise, we're also going to go up here and check this out a little bit. I'm going to show you these, and then we are going to start working on getting a mine set up. And I think that's where we're going to close the episode. After I show you those things. grab those. Yep. Well, actually, it's morning, so no waiting out the night. If you'll notice, my ceramic jug broke. Some people don't like that, and they go ahead and install another mod called the Water Skins mod. I guess that's kind of a good thing, but I've always had a problem getting enough leather in this game. This is actually the very first time I've played TFC and had plenty of things like animals to either eat or hunt. So it's a bit of a strange occurrence for me. Oh, they're losing their stuff. These going backwards? No. Or are those getting taller? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, those are getting taller. So good, they're almost ready. So yeah, let me show you what I found over here. That is an ugly tree. I'm gonna take care of this real quick, and I'll be back when I finish. Okay, now that that's taken care of, let's go ahead and get back on our business. So yeah, that's where I grab all my clay from. That's also where we started. That's the spawn point where we found all the magnetite. And then if instead of going towards our castle, which is really no more than a small village right now, we turn this way, we end up finding some very interesting things. To include the preserve that I was talking about. For the most part, I'm planning on just leaving this completely untouched. And just kind of letting this be a wild area, where when I get bored later on, I can come back and say, hey, I'm gonna go off on a camping trip to an area of the world that has been untouched. So I'm going to be setting up a ranger's house outside of this place to make sure that nobody gets in and bothers any of the animals, any of the trees, any of that. And as far as touching it for supplies, I'm thinking all I'm going to do is just grab a couple things, either that I can find on the surface. Yeah, and here's all the limonite. Or I might very subtly, like maybe dig a mine right here and make it so that nobody can tell that it's there. Have a very, very discreet opening. Because this area is too beautiful to really mess up. I don't really want to come over here and cut down trees or disfigure or even really build here. Other than like a hunting lodge and a little pathway leading up to it, I want this place to be completely untouched. As long as I get my gold and if I run out of magnetite, my limonite. But yeah, that's this area. I should probably show you the coast of it, because the coast is what really makes it exciting. I was ecstatic to see this coast. I mean, like, truly ecstatic. Yeah, I ended up cutting down 2 trees, but I replanted them, and within a few days, it should be back up to normal. I mean, just look at those cliffs. It's gorgeous. And you have more of the same cliffs over here. And that reminds me, while I was here last time, I forgot to check that out. We're gonna make a quick detour while we're here and go check out and see what that little deposit on the wall is. Okay, good, it's kaolinites. Oh, wow, we have a lot of kaolinites. That's really good. It's used in making, fire bricks. If I recall, all I need now is some graphite to mix with that and some clay. And we can get ourselves, some nice fire bricks. So I'll just mark this real quick. Okay. So yeah, nice little place. I like it. And I will enjoy exploring it a lot later. It's just beautiful and interesting. And some of the caves and just the generation, it's beautiful. I mean, look at that cave. It begs to go spelunking. But I have to keep things on track because this is not a Let's Play. This is technically not even a Let's Build. It's a castle builder. It's me showing you the progression of how I build castles. Now, if at a later point in date and a lot of people ask for it, then I will go ahead and make a Let's Build. I've tried doing Let's Plays before. I'm never happy enough with the results to ever publish them. I actually tried to make about 4 different Let's Plays, and I myself was like, no. I wouldn't watch it, so why would I make you guys watch it? Just does not make any sense. So, we're gonna go ahead and head back on over and venture on north now. And it's not going to be too much longer, so just bear with me. I'd pause and then resume, but it really won't be that long. One of the things I do like is the fact that as the seasons change, so do the plants. The leaves of the trees change colors on your, I'm not really a tree person, so don't yell at me if I get this wrong. It's your deciduous trees, the ones that are not evergreens. Anyhow, on the trees that are not evergreen, the leaves change. You can get reds, you can get yellows, all sorts of really pretty colors. And it's gorgeous. I don't know how anyone could ever go back to playing vanilla Minecraft if they've been spoiled enough to play TFC. I don't get it. An olive tree! Oh, you're joking! That's awesome! Here's hoping we get some saplings, guys. Oh, and it's bearing fruit. I can't. No, I am totally... I've got to grab these. It's so hard to tell when these things are bearing fruit. Oftentimes I completely forget that they are, or don't see that they are. I've got to like change my texture pack or something so that I can actually see it. But that is awesome, and we got 3 of them too. We had a great day. Olives are very useful. For 1, they're fruits. For 2, they're very delicious. And, well, that's my personal opinion. I like the black olives best, but anyhow, for 3, you can use them as olive oil, which will help us fuel our lamps later. So instead of having to constantly relight the torches for lighting, we'll be able to set up a lamp, and it'll burn for, I want to say, like half a year, or some silly nonsense like that. Only problem with that is in order to do that, you actually have to build yourself a hopper, which is not like a vanilla Minecraft hopper. It's not, it doesn't act like it at all. Instead, what it does is you put a stone inside of it and your olives, and it'll press the olives into olive oil. So yeah, here's some more of the land that we saw up north. As you can see, it's very mountainous. Not at all the terrain I enjoy going through. So what we're going to do instead is... Which direction was it? It was that direction, okay. We're going to instead come on over to where I saw the ore deposits. Which way are you coming? That way. And this is why I built a mace instead of a sword. It's a lot easier at taking out skeletons, which are 1,000 times more dangerous than zombies. Because a zombie, all you have to do is launch an arrow, and they fall over. It's not that hard. And zombies are weak against slashing damage, but the skeletons aren't really affected much by piercing, and they're not very okay, let me put it this way, they're almost immune to piercing damage, and they're pretty resistant to slashing damage, but they're vulnerable to crushing damage. So if zombies are not a problem, then make yourself a mace. Okay, it should be around here somewhere. We're just looking for that ravine. I'm thinking I'm gonna need to make myself a new mace. Because this one's like on its dying edge, and I'd rather not have it break without having a substitute out here. Okay, so we are close to it. I thought we were. I see some more zombies over there. Are they not interested in us? No, they are. Is that creeper interested in us? No, but let's get it just in case. And one good thing about the bows is creepers are very weak to piercing damage, and that's exactly what bows do. Bows do piercing, swords do slashing, and maces do crushing. Yep, here it is. Now it's nighttime, so it's a lot harder to see it. But I promise the ore is like right in there. It's like right there where my crosshair is. And I just heard a skeleton shoot something at me. So I'm thinking I'm gonna move around a few trees. And hopefully find a safe place to hide until morning comes. Because I don't particularly enjoy fighting. I mean, it's one thing to say that, but I have 19 levels, so obviously I don't detest it so much. But I don't go out of my way to look for fights, I guess would be a good way to say it. I mean, if a fight's gonna come, it's gonna come. But there's no sense in going and looking for fights. So we're right next to it. The cassiterite should be, like, right there. I don't know if it's gonna be in the same strata or not. But it's definitely there. We might just have to dig deeper to get it. Oh, we forgot our saw. Nice. Out of curiosity, can we use an axe for the same thing? We cannot. Doggone it. Oh well. We'll grab what's in the side of the mountain. Let me check and see how long the recording's been going on. Okay, the recording's been going on long enough, so I will let you guys go and talk to you again tomorrow. Have a good day.